Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender, the Me, Myself, and I playthrough of the main event scenario. I'm Dren608. Game is published by GMT Games, designed by Salvatore Vasta. And I also wanted to make note here, I have been neglecting to say the developer and the map art, which are located down here underneath the designer's name. So I do want to give a shout out to Mark Day and to Mark Simonich for their contributions to this game as well. I'm just sort of lazy when it comes to giving all the credits because they're written right here on the map. And I don't think about it. So I wanted to make sure that they got at least one mention in all of this series. We're getting ready to start on the July 1943 turn. The weather for July, August, and September is always fair in all zones. So we don't have to roll any dice. We will go straight into declare war phase. Nobody wants to declare war at this time. The economy phase. The British are still at 32, and so are the Russians. The Germans are at 34. I don't think I need to give any points to my allies at this point. I think I'm going to need all the points to move my stuff around and to rebuild things. So I am not going to give away any points. Or am I? I want to give one to the Hungarians because I do have 2 Hungarians running around inside Russia. So I'll give one to the Hungarians. So I start with 33 instead of 34. And we go on. Strategic warfare phase. The Germans have... The Germans do have a submarines marker. The Russians do not have anything to play. The Germans see that there's ultras and partisans and lots of bombed markers in Germany, so they're going to be playing it on the western half of this and take their chances with the Russians. So the Germans roll a 3 plus 1 is a 4. The Russians roll a 6 plus 2 is an 8. Guess what? A 4 to an 8 is factory count marker for the Germans goes up by 1. They lost 1. Factory lost. Russians can't go any lower than 1. Then we go to the West. The Germans are plus 3. The West is plus 2 because America's in the war. And if you'll look over here, there are 4 bombed markers, so they get plus 1 for every bombed marker. So up to plus 6. We go to combat commitment. We don't really need to bring up the thing. We can just look at the faction card. We know the Germans are going to throw their submarines in the hopes of corralling this. I do have a bit of a quandary with the British. If I throw in the Ultra, the whole point of putting that out there was to do that. So yeah, I need to throw the Ultra in. I still have my partisans marker for France, and I do have an airdrop marker. So we're going to try to throw this in. So we get to combat commitment. Both sides commit. The Germans commit their submarines. And the British commit their Ultra. And then we got to roll dice and halve them. So the Germans roll 2 plus 3 is 5. Halve down to 2.5 rounds up to a 3. And the Allies roll 5 plus 6 is an 11. Is a 5.5 rounds up to 6. So a 3 to a 6 is, you guessed it, another factory loss marker for the Germans. So the Germans lost 2 factories that turn, despite trying to cut down the American die roll. So at the end of the, before we roll for that, let us bring up the turn track and get the bombed markers off of here. Okay, just get them on the turn track to get them out of the way. And then we go over here and we have to bring up the turn track. And we are rolling for the German submarines first. Looks like a 3. So 1, 2, 3. They'll get them back in October. And in the Western Allies will get back their Ultra in 2. So they'll have their Ultra for a clear weather turn in September. Okay. That takes care of strategic warfare. That'll cut the Germans down some points next turn. Strategic movement for the Axis. They do have one. It's on the... That's right. It's over here in Russia. So they're going to take this. They would normally just put it on their turn, on their... let's just follow the rules. You take it, you put it on your faction card, and then they're going to take it and place it... Why did it do that? I did not want it to just shrink. I wanted it to move. Hitting the wrong part of the box there. So then they'll take it and they'll place it on... geez. There we go. On Königsberg. So... I'm going to do strategic war movement here. Just get this the heck out of the way. And this is going to move... trying to remember how I was going to move this. I think this one goes here. And it didn't bring the dang unit. God, I hate this. Vassal won't let go of stacks when I click on things, and then it won't pick up stacks when I click at other times. It's very annoying. So that's the Axis strategic movement. I do not see a strategic movement for the Western Allies. Do I? I'm not going to use this anyway, so I'm going to use my strategic movement on this. Where's my faction card? Just to save myself some production points. Where's my... Oh, it's down here in the Middle East, isn't it? I need to take that off this guy. Put it on the faction card. Go back up here to England. And we're going to take that... Where'd it go? Onto him, and then we're going to move them into Southampton. It just saves me a couple production points for my British. And do the Russians have one? I really didn't see one. No, I don't see one for the Russians. So no, the Russians don't. Well, they could strategically redeploy the 6 airplane one. The airplane with 6 sorties. And have it be moved away so that it can just recover on its own time and then fly forward later. But I couldn't replace it this turn, so I don't want to do that. We'll just leave it there. Nope, no Russian. So that was the West, that was Soviet, and then we're in the German operations phase. Okay. Let's do the simple stuff first. So the airplane, First Luft, goes at first air. First Luft is +2 for German, -2 for sorties. -4 for sorties, I'm sorry. And the Russians are -4 for sorties. Best Russians gets a 2. Germans need to roll 5 or 6 to have a chance. They rolled a 2, so they got 1 sortie there. 1 sortie there. So we're going to have the Bryansk guy go after Kalinin. I'm going to see if I get any 2-for-1s before I commit to the airplanes. So it's the same thing, -2 to -4. I need a 5 or 6. Where's the Germans? Got a 3, so it doesn't matter what the Russians roll. We'll each take 1 sortie. Orel will go after this one in the junction, 2557. Same concept, -2 to -4. Rolled a 1, so I haven't gotten a 2-for-1 split yet. Maybe I'll get one in the south. So the guy here in the junction is going to go after the airplane back there in 3168. And the Germans roll a 1 again. So they didn't stop. They didn't get a 2-for-1 on anything. So, basically they can just go 6, 6 for both of those. This guy goes to 6, that guy goes to 6. And we might as well just go to 6 and go to 6. We have enough problems without giving them airplane pluses too. So the Germans are going to go look at Italy first. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to have... I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I'm very likely going to need to have 2 Germans garrisoning Venice and Genoa if the Italians fall. You know what? I'm going to have the Italians activate the infantry unit, so they're down to 9 points. He's going to move 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, just move him over to north of Rome. Doesn't matter. And then I'll spend 1 for the German to take this infantry unit and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and get into Genoa. I know it's a flipped German unit, but if the Americans come, it allows me to use the tanks marker for the Germans there, and then it also lets me use the tank armors for the Italians if there's some other shenanigans that they want to try and play around with. Okay. That was 1 off the German track. They should be down to 32. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 right away to move these guys in the back. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 20th goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the best I can do with them. Trying to see how best to defend here in the east. And what it looks like I need to do. I really think I need to play some maneuver shenanigans here. So just get this out of the way. So 1, 2, 3. Let's put the national tracks over here. So that's another point. I'm down to 29. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can put the 1st infantry here. Okay, so we're going to activate the 1st infantry. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 1st Panzer is going to go, or 4th Panzer actually. So that was 1 for the 1st infantry. Then 2 for the 4th Panzer. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to take the first Panzer for 2 more. And he's going to go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right back into that debacle thingy. And then this infantry here is going to give up this mountain to go 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should have taken off 7 off of 33 and 1 in Italy, so 8. 8 from 33 should put me at... I have myself spending 9. Why do I spend 9? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I spent 8. I had 33. I should be there. Oh no, and then I spent 2 more for the guys in the back, right? I'm at 8 there. That should be 9 and 10. Yes, okay. Trying to figure out what I spent those other points on. There we go. So I'm at 23 left. 12, 15 for airplanes. 15 for airplanes. I got 3 regular infantry I have to flip up, so that's 18. And do I have anything to build? 19 it should be ideal. So 1, 2, like 3 more movement points if I want to do any movement. I think I'm trying to hold out here. This is like the best that I can do at the moment. So I don't see any reason to spend those extra 3 points. If he flips some units, I get some step losses, I'll be able to deal with that. I'm going to double check, make sure I haven't put anyone out of supply with my moves. Down on this one. Down there. And he goes back this way. So, yeah. Nobody's out of supply. Thin gray line in the north, along the swamps and the river lines and stuff, but it's the best I can do at the moment. Probably going to have to start thinking about pulling the German line back so it's shortened. But for right now, that's the best I can do. So I'll still have 23. I know I'm going to spend like at least 19. So that leaves me 4 extra. So if there's some steps to take, I can take them back. And if not, I'll just clear up the German convoy that's up in the north up here. I guess the question comes up, do I want to supply this airplane? With the thoughts of probably pulling it back to Germany. I don't think I'm going to pull it back now. So I'm going to save the resources up there. And I don't see anything that's critical to move in the west at this point. Yes, he can invade and take Brest, but it's also clear weather, so I have a chance to counterattack it, possibly with a full-strength air unit, or close to it, and kick him right back out. I'd lose it for 1 turn, but I can't do anything about it, really. I've really been trying to figure out how do you defend against that invasion there. The best thing I can think of is to stick that infantry there. You can't really bring a German aircraft there, because if you do, you're giving up something somewhere, either bombed markers or you're giving up a section of the front on the Russian front where they'll have air superiority. So that's it for the Germans. this promises to be a relatively long turn for the Western Allies and the Soviets because of clear weather and them being on the attack. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call this sort of a shortened turn here for the Axis. If I can get my cards. There we go. So this is the July 1943 German beginning of turn in German operations phase. The Germans basically are trying to hold their line where it is here in the Russia. They have it fairly well stacked up, so it's kind of hard to break through and isolate. They can possibly break through on the 16th, so there wasn't a lot I could do about it. You can't really swap it with an armored unit and make this work, but hopefully I'll be able to fall back on Kharkov, Kursk, Orel line, and part of the Donets in the mountains here, and hold them there in August, and then probably by September he'll make a hole, and I'll have to run all the way back to the Dnieper. Is the way I'm looking at it. If I'm on the Dnieper in the fall of 43, I'm not doing too badly, I don't think, as the Germans. But we'll see. So, like I said, that's German operations phase. I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. There are a bunch of them going back to the beginning of the game, September of 1939. So, if you're new to this particular episode or whatever, there are a whole bunch of backlogs up here on YouTube on my channel. I will be back shortly with the West and maybe the Soviets. I have a feeling I'm going to have to split the Soviets out because there's going to be lots of things going on, but we'll see. And maybe I'll just break the Soviets in the middle of their turn or something when I hit to my timer. So we'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.